All right, guys, we stopped at Alberto's real quick to get some food. See, it's right there. And then we're gonna head to the Swami and see what we can find. Who knows? Let's go.
Yo, check this out.
All right, guys, we got a full belly. We just ate a burrito. Let's start this game hunt. Now, this is the very first booth that I went to, and there's nothing too crazy here. It's mostly like, well, it looks like home goods and stuff. Some clothes. I don't know, nothing too fancy. But what are those?
Party rock!
But the shoes were too expensive. They wanted like 60 bucks, so I went ahead and passed. Now, I found this BC Rich Warlock. Now, I used to have this guitar years ago, and I love this guitar. I regret letting it go. Pretty cool, 50 bucks. I also came across this booth that had third-party controllers. The lady wanted $15 a piece and $5 a piece for the games, but nothing really too crazy there, so we kept on moving. Some really basic games here, nothing too special, so I went ahead and just, I don't know, looked through them real quick, but I didn't grab anything. I found this overhead projector, which is kind of cool because I haven't seen one since high school. Then I went to this seller that had a dummy on his table, which was freaky. I hate those things. But he had Quest 64 and Hexen 64, so I had to check these out and make sure they were authentic. Everything looked pretty good, so let's find out how much he wants for them. How much are the games, dude? The 64 ones?
64 games are 15 apiece.
15 apiece? And for the NES? Double Dribble, Blades of Steel,
They're
and
$5
Turbo.
each.
Okay.
I could do 25 for both of those ones then.
25 for both?
Yeah.
25 for both. Now, you can never be too careful at the swap meet. You always have to double, triple check your games. Now, right here, I saw like a little chip right here. You can see there's a little bit of damage right here on the pin. So, you know, stuff for that you got to look out for also. But I think it still might work, so we might just pick them up. All right, brother, I'll take these two.
All right.
25 was cool then?
Yeah.
Go. Awesome, brother. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Want a bag?
Yeah, do you got one?
Yeah.
And right next to the vendor that I bought the Nintendo 64 games from, he had an Xbox 360 with 3 controllers, a PlayStation 3 that was in really good shape, and another PlayStation 3 next to that, but the top was melted. So let's see how much he wants for the nice one. How much are the Xbox? This one?
30. 30 bucks.
30? And then for the PS3? 30 for these ones too? Okay, thank you. Then I found these 3 boxes that were just absolutely full of Hot Wheels. But I didn't really know which ones to grab. I wasn't really looking for Hot Wheels, so I passed. Pretty cool Lex Luger and Kane figures, and also Clamp Champ for Masters of the Universe for $8 each. I passed on those as well. And then when I was walking, I saw this box that had a bunch of games sticking out, so I went ahead and looked at it. Guys, there was a whole bunch of Nintendo Wii's, Wii U's, a Wii U system, and a Nintendo Wii system, some PC games in there. I thought the guy wanted 150 bucks for the whole thing, but you know, he wanted full price for all the games that they were individual, 150 just for the Wii U, and for the whole box he wanted 300 bucks. No deal to be made here, so I just went ahead and walked away. So this booth had a lot of Star Wars figures, but I found some PlayStation 3 games, Xbox One games, Infiltrator for the NES. And look, there's a PlayStation 4 remote right there too. It looks pretty clean. Have to check that out. And then right here he has a bin full of PlayStation 3 games, a couple PS2s, but nothing too crazy. He also had some really cool Planet of the Apes figures from the Tim Burton movie. And then I found the Star Wars Rebel Assault 2 for the PC. Now this thing was sealed, it was just smashed on one side. There's the king right there. And of course you always find gold at the swap meet. Lieutenant Commander Riker, Jonathan Frakes, #1.
Don't fret, Riker. My good fortune is your good fortune.
I don't need your fantasy women.
You never know what you're gonna find at the swap meet. Now I love finding stuff like this. These vendors had Nintendo Wii remotes, they had PlayStation 3 remotes, PlayStation 2 remotes. They actually had a PlayStation 4 remote, they had a bunch of NES games, power supplies for consoles. I mean, pretty much all the accessories I needed. So it's always a plus when you can find stuff like this. You can get all the original accessories. Now this seller had a few of the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure graphic novels, and I should have picked these up. They wanted $5 a piece, and my wife is a huge JoJo's Bizarre Adventure fan. I should have grabbed them. Now this guy had a Nintendo Wii and a PlayStation 3, and I wanted to buy it off him, but he had to call somebody. He didn't know the price, and they weren't answering, so I just left. How much is a Nintendo Wii? How's it going? How much is the Pac-Man? $250?
Immediately now. Immediately now. Like.
I came up on this seller that had a bunch of Game Informer magazines and a PlayStation 2, and I was trying to get his attention, but he was too busy talking to somebody else, and he just wouldn't pay attention to me, so I never got a price on anything. But, you know, it's too bad. I wanted to pick some stuff up, but it is what it is. How much is the pachinko?
150.
150? That's nice, man. Then I found this 4-foot Batman, and I kept asking the lady how much she wanted for it. She just kept saying security, security. I was like, what do you mean security? She said, that's my security. I was like, oh, okay, so I just left it. It wasn't for sale. It was pretty neat to find these old desks from elementary school. Like, I literally haven't seen these desks in years. All right, I think we're pretty much done here, so let's go ahead and head home and see what we picked up. All right, we are back from the swap meet, and this is all the stuff that we grabbed. Let's go ahead and start going through it. This is going to be kind of hard to record because my camera stand is still broken. I need to buy a new one ASAP, but I keep spending my money at the swap meet, so yeah, there's that. But guys, let's go ahead and try to do this with one hand. Let's go. All right, so we got some Fortnite stamps. Never seen these before, but for $2 a pop, I couldn't pass them up. So pretty cool, little 3-pack. We got some more Fortnite stamps, and these ones are, okay, it's the same characters as the other one. And then we got one more pack of Fortnite stamps. Now, these are different characters, so that's kind of cool. That'll work. Never know who might want those. I also picked up a Kakyoin figure from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Polaref from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I also picked up this King DDD figure. Looks pretty good. I don't think it's used. Also, this Homer Simpson keychain. Now, I love this thing. Look at that. It really pops. It's pretty big. You never know. Somebody might want it. And an Iron Man keychain. For the next bag, we picked up the RGB cables for the Nintendo Wii. Now, if you saw my last video, I had a whole stack of Nintendo Wiis. I just didn't have the RGB cable. I didn't have the remote. And I didn't have the sensor. Well, now I have the RGB cable. I have the remote. There's just no back piece, but it's in a little sleeve thingy. And then I also picked up the sensor. Now I got all three of them for 15 bucks. And you know, I wasn't sure if I was gonna grab it, but I was like, you know what? I need to try these Nintendo Wii's out. I need to see if they work. Let me just go ahead and grab them. But I also picked up this PlayStation 4 controller. Just needs to be cleaned up a little bit, but the guy said it works, so we'll find out if it does. But not bad. I picked that up for $23. And I also picked up that Star Wars Rebel Assault that's completely sealed. It's just smashed on one side.
The rebel fighters are in range, my lord. Sigma Squadron stands ready, awaiting your command.
Very well, Admiral. Engage the rebels.
Stay on course, we can take them.
For $2. Picked up Quest 64. Like I said, it looks good. I think everything's there. I was worried about that right there. I don't know if you can see looks like the pins have a little bit of corrosion on it, but we're going to see if we can fix it. I went ahead and picked that up along with Hexen. For $25. PlayStation 3's all hooked up. Let's see if it powers on. We got power. Alright, looks like everything's working. Let's put a game in there. Alright, moment of truth. Hopefully this works. Alright guys, we got a working PlayStation 3. Let's go. $30 well spent. Alright guys, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for hanging out, and thank you guys so much for 140 subscribers, guys. I really appreciate the support, and I will see you guys in the next video.
Get those wonderful toys.
Isn't this a school day?